Hello students, in today's video lecture we will study the important steps in executing an interrupt. So basically so far we have already studied about the interrupt. Okay, so it is temporarily suspension of a task. So today we will see the important steps in execution of an interrupt. So here are some steps. Upon activation of interrupt, the microcontroller has to do the following things. Okay, finishes the execution of current instruction. It then has to push the program counter of next instruction in the stack, jump to the interrupt vector table to get the addresses of ISR and jump to it, begin the execution of the ISR instruction at the last of ISR, that is RET FIE, execute the RET FIE, and then it has to pop the PC from stack. It has to start to execute the address of that PC. So see, simply here you have a main program. Okay, this is your main program. I'll call it as main. Okay, and each location is pointed out by this program counter. Okay, in between now you have a interrupt signal which has occurred here. I will call it as interrupt I. Okay, now what happens here? See, program counter was holding this memory location. This instruction, whatever is here at this location, was being executed. So this program counter goes on changing its location. Okay, but currently now this location was there in program counter, and when it has completed the half execution of this instruction, the one which I am pointing here. Okay, so the processor will not leave that task in between. The processor has to complete the task which is being currently executed. That is indicated by this first step, that is finishes the current instructions execution. Okay, now interrupt has occurred here. After completion of this instruction, it will concentrate on the interrupt. Now what it will do, this contents of PC. Now see, as this location was being pointed by PC, actually PC is supposed to point the next instruction. Okay, address of next instruction. So but interrupt has occurred in between. So this contents, that is the next instructions contents after the interrupt, are stored on the stack. So this is your stack S, and on this the contents of the program counter will be stored. This is indicated by the second step, that is pushes the program counter of next instruction in the stack and jumps to the interrupt vector table to get the address of ISR. I already told you that there are two memory locations in interrupt vector table. One is having the address of 0008, which is having the higher priority, and one is 0018, which is having the lowest priority. So it will then move to the program counter, will just search any of these addresses, whether it's 08 or 18. Accordingly, the control will be transferred to the interrupt service routine. It means anywhere in these two locations or amongst the two locations, the interrupt service routine will be written. So if I say that from here your program will jump here, okay, that is nothing but your ISR is here. Okay, it will be executed, but at the end of ISR you have the return instruction, that is RET F I and E. Okay, so this instruction will help you to go back, okay, to the point where you left. But for this we have to get the contents where we have to go back. And where did we load the contents of the location where we are again supposed to go back? We stored them on a stack. So from stack, whenever we want to get some data out of the stack, we are supposed to pop it. So after execution of this RETFIE instruction, we have to pop the contents from stack. So here is the step that tells us pop the PC from stack. Whereas while putting the contents onto the stack, we pushed it. While writing onto the stack, use the instruction push. Taking out the contents from stack, use the instruction pop. After popping the contents from stack, we are popping the contents of program counter. So we will get this memory location now where we left over. So we will come back to our this location after the return instruction. Okay, so these are the steps in general. These are the steps in general which we have to follow. Okay, so I hope you have just understood the important steps in executing and interrupt. Okay, so as far as writing this question into your examination is concerned, you have to put it in a systematic way. That is, upon activation of interrupt, the microcontroller has to do the following steps. It finishes or completes the instruction it is executing and saves the address of next instruction on the stack. It jumps to a fixed location in memory called the interrupt vector table. The interrupt vector table directs the microcontroller to the address of interrupt service routine, that is ISR. Step number 3 to be written is the microcontroller gets the address of ISR from the interrupt vector table and jump to it. It starts to execute the interrupt service routine until it reaches the last instruction of the subroutine, which is RETFIE, which is shown over here. Upon executing the RETFIE instruction, the microcontroller returns to the place where it was interrupted first. It gets the program counter address from stack by popping the top bytes of the stack, and then again it starts to execute its main program. These are the steps which are to be followed. But see, there are different types of interrupts usually we have. There are they are basically divided into two types: external interrupts and the internal interrupts. External interrupts are basically like INT0 and INT2. It means these are nothing but the interrupt pins INT0, INT1 and INT2. These are the interrupt pins. Whereas internal interrupts are occurring due to the certain conditions, that is such as completion of a work. What type of completion of a work? Suppose if we want to convert an analog signal into the digital one, and once your conversion has completed, at that time you will get an internal interrupt that conversion has been completed. Similarly, timer reaching its maximum limit. Timer, if it is a 8-bit, it means if its maximum value is 0xFFH, that is nothing but it has 8-bit timer has 256 locations which will be ranging from 0 to 255. So when 255 is completed, and again your location will be the initial one, that is timer will again go back to its initial position, that is 0. It means overflow has occurred. In such cases, the internal interrupts are used. So I hope the important steps in executing an interrupt are clear. This is the important point as far as the interrupts are concerned. Thank you.